Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, and welcome to the next episode of the Godfather Minutes. My name is Alex Robinson.
And my name is Andy Robinson.
And together we are here to talk about minute number 5. Minuto numero 5. What?
5 is a bit different.
What is it?
It's cinque.
Cinque.
Say it again,
okay.
Alex. Cinque.
Minuto numero 5.
You got it.
Cinque.
Uh-huh.
See, that's
my
what
favorite one.
Throws me off. Last week it was cuatro, good old Spanish.
Yeah,
Then they keep you guessing.
Yeah, they keep
like
changing it on you.
It's like Sicilians themselves. You can never really be sure what's coming.
Whoa, yeah, wild card, right?
Yeah.
I love cinque. You know how I always remember cinque?
How?
One of my friends growing up said, I asked him, I said, how do you, because, you know, we, in our, where we grew up, there were a lot of Italians.
Yeah.
And I said, how do you say slap me 5 in Italian? And he said, dame cinque.
What's the first word?
Like, dame, give me.
Dame?
Yeah, dame cinque, give me 5. So I always remember that.
People don't.
Well, you don't say that in Italian. People don't say,
right, they
give
have
me 5.
their own slang and stuff. People don't even say it in English anymore. Give me 5.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure
say
about
high 5. No one says give me 5.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say, hey, give me 4 and a thumb.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just trying to make up new vernacular.
Trying to come up. It should be maybe like 4 and 1. Like,
hey, 4. Oh, because kids can't do math anymore.
That's totally gives them a little bit of STEM. There's STEM skills in there.
STEM. That's the extent of our STEM education is changing the greetings. Give me 4 and 1. But then what would be the comeback when you moved your hand away and they missed? They swung but missed.
Oh, I do not know.
Instead of
too slow.
Too slow. It'd be no stem.
No.
Or anyway, tell us about Minuto 5, Alex.
Well, Minuto 5, Mrs. Andolini appears before the mighty Don Ciccio.
Mm-hmm.
While acknowledging the supposed crimes of her husband and her oldest son, she begs that he spare the life of her weak, dumb-witted son, Vito. Don Ciccio is still wary. The boy will seek revenge if allowed to live.
I just realized how much our interpretation of the movie may sway public opinion. I take umbrage with you giving a biased opening statement saying she admits to her crimes. Is that you use the word crime?
Well, she says, he swore revenge. And so she's admitting that
you called them crimes as if their family was the one.
I said supposed crimes.
Okay, all right. So now you work as an attorney for Don Ciccio. I need more lawyers.
I'm playing both sides. I need more lawyers.
By the way, I'm glad you said Don Ciccio. We were calling him Don Francesco in the last one.
I wanted to bring that up because as we watch it on our little videos, the subtitles show up automatically, which as I requested. And I was like, so I went to basically what happened is last week when I was making the notes, I was like, what's that guy's name? Because I always say Chichi. I thought it was like Ciccio, but that's too close to Willie Cheech. I was like, I must be like just mixing the names up. So I said, let me look it up. So I looked up Godfather Part II screenplay, and there's a bunch of websites that say here's the screenplay for it.
Yeah.
I looked it up and it said, Don Francesco's. And I was like, I said, maybe I'm just,
whoa.
Or maybe it's one of those things that's just a difference between the screenplay and the script. But it turns out that way, maybe it was like an earlier draft of the screenplay or something. But everything else I've seen refers to him. He's in the Godfather wiki as Don Ciccio.
Are you saying the screenplay is different than the movie?
Yes, I am indeed saying that.
I wonder if You know why is Don Francesco in that version? That was Mrs. Clemenza's version.
Oh, they legally had to change it to prevent.
She's always trying to get her hooks into the writing.
Every time you think she's out, she works her way back in.
Don't forget Don Francesco.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I apologize to anyone who was biased by the fact that I referred to him as Don Francesco last week, because I hope that didn't spoil the movie for anyone.
It felt wrong when you said it to me, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Very strange.
I know.
And I also thought, I was like, is it Don Ciccio? But then I think I had the same second guessing.
Yeah.
No.
Guys,
hey, we fixed it.
Just goes to show you.
Can't trust the internet.
Can't believe everything you read on the internet, or that it was changed, like the Berenstain Bears thing, where it's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that modified screenplay. I ain't no redactor.
So,
we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the minute overall? Before we get into the I'm not saying rate it, but what was your?
I think it was.
What was your heart telling you?
I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very informative because you kind of get the. They're definitely letting you know, because I'm trying to approach it as someone who had, let's say you only saw The Godfather and now you're watching this for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like we learn that the ruthlessness of the mafia extends to killing children, or the bad guy mafia,
mm-hmm.
whereas we didn't see anything about children getting killed in the earlier movie. And
that is interesting. Why did in America they stop doing that, killing children?
I don't think they
because they're all mustache Pete's. You think that they would hold that over from the old world?
I think probably because in America they couldn't get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think like inter-mob violence, you're like, okay, people got mixed up in the rackets. If they get killed, they get killed. It's against the law, but it's not like if they made a regular habit of killing children, then that I think would also turn the public a lot more against them than whereas in Sicily it's so entrenched that there's no alternative because they're basically the law.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Go to the policeman? Go to the government? They can't protect you.
Oh, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Well, so speaking of which, I thought it was interesting. Speaking of doing our dueling Brandos, that in this scene we see Vito referred to by all the terms that we hear Fredo referred to. He's weak. He's dumb.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that comes up in this context. That later on. I don't know if there's any significance to that.
There is, Alex. You know what?
What?
You got yourself some ring theory.
So
I think you do.
How
because
so?
it's always said that the three sons of Don Corleone each represent a part of him.
Yeah.
And Fredo represents the caring,
his heart.
Yeah. But Mrs. Andolini, or in other words, Mama, I don't think she's being on. Do you get the impression she's being honest?
No. I think she's just trying to downplay the threat that he would be.
Yeah.
So, although that would be interesting if she was always just talking about what an idiot he was all the time.
I mean, maybe he really did have those traits, and she, like you said, highlighted them, exaggerated them just to protect him.
My older boy, he's Sonny. This one, he's Fredo.
Yeah, you already killed the Sonny version of my Sicilian family. Michael, he is not even born yet.
He'll just be stepped over.
Yeah.
So, I think that's interesting.
Very interesting.
And then, of course, this movie kind of ends with Fredo ultimately being killed. So Michael basically becomes Don Ciccio, killing an innocent person. Not that he's innocent, but killing this sort of dumb, weak person for the sake of what he
feels needs to be done to protect his quote family.
Yeah.
You got yourself some ring theory, Alex.
I was just reading about how Mario Puzo and Francis Ford Coppola argued bitterly about whether or not Michael would kill Fredo.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was the...
I think Mario Puzo was saying he would do it, and Francis Ford Coppola was saying he wouldn't do it. And the compromise is that Francis Ford Coppola said, okay, but it has to be after Mama dies. Like, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do that to his mother to make her a...
Wow.
What are you going to make her a... What's the term for someone? Anyway, there's no term for someone who loses a child. But anyway, what?
That's art imitating life, because you had the two artists arguing about it. Francis Ford Coppola's like, all right, let's at least wait till Mama dies. Like, we can't act like they're the ones experiencing it. Speaking of Mama, do they refer... Does Vito's mother, Mrs. Andolini, get referred to as Mama?
I don't think so.
And then they call her Mama, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's what the kids call him, but we never see him talk the whole time.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah. And there's a scene later on where he's like, I miss my mama. That play reminds him of... It reminds me of Mamma Mia. Yeah. The musical, I mean.
The tap musical. Hey, what do you make of a dim-witted, or sorry, dumb-witted?
Dumb-witted.
That's how it's translated. No. What do you make of that? If someone said, "Oh, hey, this just heads up, this guy's dumb-witted," what would that mean to you?
What would it mean to me?
Yeah, are they?
I guess it means they were stupid.
But just non-intelligent, or I mean, because she's prefaces by saying he doesn't speak.
Right. Well, I was wondering if the dumb part was kind of underlining the fact that he did not speak, because dumb is the way people used to refer to mute. I don't know. Do people even say mute anymore? Is that how you're allowed to say?
Gosh, I don't know.
That you're vocally challenged.
Yeah, I don't know. But dumb-witted.
Yeah, and also don't forget, this is being translated by someone from whatever she's saying, so it might not be. Yeah,
you're right.
It's probably like a pun that works in Sicilian, but that doesn't translate quite into.
It turns out it was really hardworking.
Yeah,
and like opposite, he's smart and hardworking.
So there's two things you have to ask our Sicilian scholar Pete Carucci. Number one is what's the term for the neighborhood busybody who takes interest in other people's bad news? And two, what is the term for someone who is dumb-witted?
Yes, will do. I'll ask. I already asked question one. I haven't gotten a response yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I asked Tony
now
Consiglio,
who's the dumb-witted
too.
one?
I asked Tony Consiglio, too, and he said he didn't know, but he's going to ask his parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah, I wonder what... I'm interested to hear what they have to say about that. What else you got? I got a few odds and ends.
Well, one thing is, I feel like we rarely do this, but while I was watching the minute, I was so distracted by one of the thugs in the background.
Me too.
when Mama is making her speech, and over her left shoulder, there's like a thug who looks like a cartoonishly, like apish caveman guy. I guess his mouth is open in a way where he's like,
and his eyebrow is like a monobrow real thing. I think he is Luca Brasi's grandfather.
He's the Luca Brazzi he's Don Ciccio's Luca Brazzi.
Yes.
He's the Sicilian man's Luca Brazzi.
Yes, and because even when Don Ciccio makes the joke and looks around to make sure his henchmen are laughing, he just keeps staring ahead. It's really funny. The joke being, I'm not worried about his words.
Yeah,
his words aren't what worry me.
Right. Yeah. But so I wanted to call attention to that cartoony bodyguard there. So Don Ciccio says,
can we talk about his hands first?
Oh yeah, sure. That kind of like little
before he says anything, the camera's on him. He kind of, it's hard to describe. He kind of waves his forearms and hands are rested on his chair. Yeah, but he's kind of wiggling his wrist up and down,
right,
in kind of a nervous way.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if it's a nervous tick. No reason for him to be nervous. He's holding all the cards here.
Well, but maybe he just doesn't like personal confrontation.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a very long walk from the outer gate to the courtyard.
Yeah.
To the front step.
And it can't be good news when the widow of somebody, when the widow shows up of the mother of the boy you just had killed shows up.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a "you busted" kind of a feeling. Maybe that's why he seems like a bit nervous, but he has to like calm himself down.
So you mean like ethically, he realizes that kind of that what he did was wrong.
Not that ethically what he did was wrong, but he knows she's gonna be pissed off.
Yeah. So he just has to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that brings me to my so he seems like he calms down a bit. So that brings me to my what if actually for this scenario.
Yeah.
What if the reason his hands were shaking is that he was nervous because he was secretly in love with Mrs. Andolini? And this whole thing was just a ploy to get her to be single so that he could then propose marriage to her, and then Vito Andolini would grow up Vito Ciccio. So would he be different growing up the son of a... also, I guess partially it could depend on if he has any other children or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know. But for the sake of this scenario, let's say that he would then become the heir to...
Wow.
Would he still grow up to be the same Don, or growing up with that power, would that automatically make him... He wouldn't learn those lessons about what it was like to be poor and hungry.
I think the latter.
So you think it would make him
a
worse Don?
I think the way a man grows up really creates his character.
Yeah. So,
definitely.
So you just thought he would be a bad Don if he became the
Yeah, interesting. That's a really interesting idea. It's hilarious. First of all, the whole time he's been pining for Mrs. Andolini.
He's like the whole time they like when she's walking in the aisle, he's like rehearsing what she's gonna say, what he's gonna say to her. You know?
He's like fantasizing that she's coming to marry him too.
Like,
it seems like
coming down the aisle. It would flash to him like all in like a tuxedo while looking all happy.
He still has that fantasy years later when Don Vito comes to see him, and he ends up cutting open his belly.
And so part of his fantasy also would be them getting married, and then it would be like a ring theory of the scene where Michael and Apollonia are in their first wedding night, where Mama would take that, she would unleash her on, show her naked and show him like, oh, Mamma Mia. I guess it wouldn't be Mamma Mia, it'd be Mama, like your mama.
Yeah.
Your mama.
I guess it's his mama now, though.
Oh, snap.
You busted.
4 + 1.
4 + 1. We got to come up with the you're like too slow, the version, whatever that would be. 4 + 1. Oh, I got one. I got it. All right. For our listeners, Alex and I are about to slap 5.
Okay.
But then I'm going to pull my hand away and say something.
Well, you're going to raise your hand to gesture me to give you 4 + 1.
And I'm going to say 4 + 1.
And then I'm going to rise to the challenge, but you will then trick me.
Make some kind of like what noise when you whiff, because I've dropped my.
Now, let's describe what's going on to the listeners so that.
We just got to do it. We got to just say it. Ready? Right. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh snap! 4 + 1.
What? Oh, what the?
-5. We're doing math lessons
that equals
anyway.
0, and I guess that's me.
Get it? It's like math lessons. 4 + 1 -5 = 0.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Hey, go ahead. No, you go.
No, I insist.
I realize it might be fun. We're still working on the minute, but it might be fun to interject some odds and ends, some cleanup items, so that our regular listeners, the people who don't have access to bonus content, get a little bit of this stuff.
Sure, why not?
Okay, so I want to bring us over.
We're here to have fun. We're among friends.
Sure, yeah. I want to bring us over to Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse nightclub.
All right, let's go.
And so that people have to answer questions to get in, right?
Yes.
That's how what do they call them?
Keep out the bots.
Keep out the bots. Keep out the bots. Let's see. Let me find it.
Keep out the bots.
Keep out the bots. So question 1 is, have you heard the Godfather Minute podcast?
Yes.
So this person said yes.
Good. Awesome.
All right. Step one, authentication. Question 2, why should Fredo be the one running the family? Mm-hmm. Running the nightclub, I almost said. And the answer is lowercase WISD.
WISD.
All one word, all lowercase. Does that mean anything?
Oh, not that I've ever heard of.
It's not some new shorthand for something?
Authentication failed. Authentication failed.
Nightclub will self-destruct in 4, 3, 2.
The whole nightclub just 3 seconds to critical mass.
So I'm, I think it's just the bot. The bot recognized that the first question was yes or no, and so tried to get in, but then they just put in something to maybe try to fool us. The other
Wisdy.
I know this is probably going to sound
maybe
racist.
they were trying. Maybe someone was typing wisdom and they got accidentally clicked send before they finished the word.
Oh,
WISD.
Or wise. It's just one letter off. WISD.
Yeah.
Wise. Why should he be running the family? Wise.
Wise. You asking me this?
The other red flag is the name is Jared Kin somehow, and from Malaysia.
Yeah, those are a lot of.
Should I decline?
Decline.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, what was it? Dingo 2 bananas?
That's right, yeah. The other one is, have you heard the Godfather? This is someone else. Have you heard the Godfather Minute podcast? No.
Nope. Doesn't matter. They can still
get in, right? Why should Fredo be the one running the family? He's smart, not dumb.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think so, Alex?
Yeah.
So you're saying, yeah, authentication
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, well, you would have made a big mistake because you didn't dig a little deeper into this person's profile. No picture, no profile picture, nothing. No friends, no other posts.
Aw, that's all the more reason they should join.
And joined Facebook like 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
I think
it feels kind of spammy.
But the fact that they said that they, if they were spammy, they would say they did listen to the show and they knew the part about Fredo being smart and not dumb.
Oh, you don't think that's AI that's gotten?
Well, I feel like if it was AI, then they would come up with a fake profile and a fake, like, it seems almost more suspicious if it does have like a generic thing.
So do you think this person is just not on Facebook and they happen to hear our podcast, which is great, and said, oh, you know what, maybe this is a reason to get into Facebook?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Well,
and
we'll give it a shot.
If they go on there and they start posting stuff about gold watches and how you can get free, that stuff, I'll eat my hat. I'll eat my words.
Excellent.
Now, this person might do it now just to be a jerk. They might start purposely posting spam to make me eat my hat. So
that would be hilarious.
I hope I'm not wrong.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go for it. We'll give them a chance.
I didn't get where I was by not being able to read people.
Now, do you think, my last question, because we're talking about spam bots, who is smarter, a spam bot or Fredo Corleone?
Now, define smarter. Because the spam bot is smart for what it is designed to do, which is to outwit humans and get into their things too. So
the first measure,
but it couldn't drive a car, so it's not as smart as Fredo in that sense.
Yeah.
But
so the first measure I would say is it can create something in it for him.
Yeah, that's the key.
So
difference.
Fredo fails that, but I think the AI fails it because it's serving a master. It's not serving itself. There wasn't something in it for him.
So in that sense, it is smarter because it doesn't fool itself into thinking that there is something in it for itself.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's kind of like,
it understands its place.
Which is smarter, a cat or a dog? A dog because it listens to what we tell it to do, or a cat because it doesn't give a shit what we tell it to do?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Good point. Okay, I rest my case.
Well, you'll have to go before a judge in the morning then.
Oh, cool. Thanks for hearing that.
Okay.
I'll keep you informed. I'll let you know if there are any gold watches for sale.
I encountered on the internet today something that I thought was very funny and something we could do on the show.
Okay.
Which is a friend of mine. He's been a guest on the Star Wars Minute podcast. His name is Todd Alcott. And on Twitter, he said he came forward with the hypothesis that there is no phrase in the history of literature or movies or anything which cannot be improved by being followed up with the character saying, "God, I'm so high." So like you take a him, you're like, there's not even a message, not even a post or a signpost anywhere in Las Vegas. God, I'm so high. Like, take anything,
to make it funny.
Well, just or just changes the context of what the character. If they're saying something funny, if they're saying something serious, then it makes it,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculously funny.
So
and if they're saying something funny, it probably makes it funnier.
Yeah,
right.
Or I was going to say the one I was going to come up with was Walt's looking at the bloody horse head when he pulls the sheet. He's like, ah! He's like, God, I'm so high. So are there other lines in the movie that you're like, oh, that would be a good place to put it in?
Oh gosh,
yeah,
we'll have to keep it. Well, that could be a running.
Totally.
As maybe the dialogue comes out. Right?
That's a good idea. Maybe we'll turn it into a recurring feature.
Yeah. There's not really much dialogue. It's all in Sicilian. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there aren't that many good ones in these ones.
Although if Miss Andolini had said that while presenting the case that Vito's dumb-witted, that'd be pretty rough. Or it would fit with Don Ciccio. He says, like, it's his words I'm not worried about. Everyone laughs. God, I'm so high. That's why his hands are all shaking.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. All right, so there you go. You managed to fit it in there.
Awesome. That's great.
So let's see what else we got. Anything else handy?
Yeah, I got some things.
What else you got?
So Mama says, says, Don Ciccio, you had my husband killed and Paolo, my oldest son, because he swore revenge.
Yeah.
Is she suggesting that if he had not sworn revenge, Don Ciccio would have let Paolo live?
Possibly. Or she's just saying that to sort of emphasize the fact that, that one was the one who swore revenge and he was hot-tempered. And
I'm kind of glad you took
exactly. You were justified in that decision.
Yeah.
But this guy, he's a dumbwit. Look at him. Like that. I feel like it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Do you think the fact that he said that he never talks, that she says he never speaks, is that part true?
I don't know. So far, there's nothing in the book about it. When a future minute he goes through Ellis Island, he's not saying anything.
Right, until he starts singing.
He's
belting out tunes in Ellis Island.
And by the way,
I remember that for the musical.
Yeah. By the way, a little pre-ring theory. That song that he sings ends up being the song that Connie requests that Johnny Fontaine sang at the wedding. Yes. And that's when he's like, "Oh, my voice is weak." It's a tribute to Don Vito.
Well, I was actually wondering if the fact that when he says my voice is weak, I was wondering if that was.
Well, holy smokes, Alex, you are a funny guy. Give me 5. Give me 4 and 1.
Too slow. No, anyway. Thanks for the compliment.
You got it. Well, thanks for listening to the first half of the show. If you want to hear the second half, which is arguably more funny, go to godfatherminute.com/support and you can hear the rest. And Alex, what are some of the things we talk about?
What if Frank Pentangeli and Robert De Niro and Robert? What if Frank Pentangeli and Vito Corleone switched places as a child?
Yeah. And Alex goes on to talk about his Ripley's Believe It or Not cartoons. Hilarious.
Believe it or not.